Good morning. I have another video that I have watched in a PowerPoint presentation about the beginning of tribulation being set. And this is just from the video, and the PowerPoint presentation is well done. And it's a deep study. If you're into doing something like this, I would give yourself some time to watch this. It claims that the September 17th would be the beginning of the Great Tribulation. Now, he backs it up with a lot of information. This PowerPoint presentation goes very slow. It goes into the hows and the whys, and it's something that you really need to give it some time. The reason I'm posting it is because I watched another video that also claims that the Great Tribulation begins on September 17th. That means if we can decide whether we know for sure, and we don't know for sure when the tribulation begins, but they're all banking it on the Feast of Trumpets. And let's get to the point to this discussion. Now, with that said, it is believed that Jesus had fulfilled all the feast days at the time of his death and resurrection. That is something I didn't know, and I need to make some corrections. I got to come correct. We are not the remnant, and something I posted a couple days ago that we were the remnant. We are not the remnant. The remnant is after the post tribulation. See, the mid tribulation is the ones that go up with the two witnesses. The remnant is left over in the post tribulation. So I wanted to make that clear that I was wrong in my wording. I was really wrestling with that because I made an error in my communication. Now, with that said, and that cleared up, I have gone through this and really dug into something here. I found out that because the Feast of Trumpets has been already fulfilled by Jesus at the cross, this means that none of those feast days is when Jesus would return, with that understanding that it would happen at a day and hour that we don't know. So it's always been told to me that the Jewish people said that they would know not the day and hour until the moon cresces, and then they can begin Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We know that from hearing it from the Jewish people that celebrate Rosh Hashanah. So there's always been this swirling around of this understanding of the day and hour that no one knows, according to the Rosh Hashanah celebration. We don't know truly if that means Jesus does it according to that biblical Hebrew calendar. We don't know that for sure. We do know this. We don't know for sure. We can only guess. But if this is true, then the beginning of Feast of Trumpets being the beginning of tribulation, that means the rapture's closer than we think. Now, let's go back September 17th, and let's go back 7 days into Sukkot. Now we're in the month of Elul, okay, beginning of August 16th and 18th. We're still in the calendar year of this month of Elul. So there's a lot still going on in this month. We also have the harvest season, and then that could mean a couple things. The harvest of souls, that could mean a couple different other things that I can't think of off the top of my head. But in this deep study, he has several videos that break it down. In this PowerPoint presentation, which is completely well done, it'll give you a little bit more insight, and you can dig away at some things maybe that you may agree or disagree. Can we agree that this is worth looking into? Yes. Because if it's true that the Feast of Trumpets would be the beginning of tribulation. That means the sooner we can believe that the coming of the soon return of the Lord is nearer than we think. We always believed that the soon return of the Lord was close. We always said soon, soon, Jesus is coming soon. But now we're coming into the season, and there's a lot of truth into the what the Holy Spirit's led us to believe is that the, there's signs in the church age that point us to certain things. Like I said earlier in this previous video about the sign in the sky right now that is Leo. It's coming at a time that the sign in the constellation Leo is appearing. I find that fascinating. There's already been one super moon, and there's another at the end of the month, a super blue moon, and there's going to be another super moon appearing. So we got three events in the sun, the moon, and the stars, according to Matthew. So there's a lot of scenes in this that are taking place. The scenes of our lives are taking place to show us that there are events taking place, and we can't forget the geopolitical events that are also applied to this, which come right out of Daniel 9:27, as we've mentioned before. We can't ignore the signing of the 7-year covenant. If this all happens before the signing of the covenant, that means the 17th comes before this signing. That means we won't see the revelation of the AC. That means makes more sense because I've always been told the AC would not be revealed to the church. It would be revealed to the people that it's meant to be revealed to, those who don't believe. Okay, I did this in-depth study to remind you that I'm still of the camp that I'm curious to see if you agree that we could be coming into tribulation before this all takes place. Not the rapture. The rapture comes first before tribulation. So that marking point is really tells me that if it's, and this is confirmed by 2 or more people, this is just new to me. So I'm learning as I go as well. And I had to come correct with the other stuff because I got the information. I was just like blurting things out before, but I am really getting into some thorough study to get this right so that I know what I'm talking about. I want to make sure that I get this correct so that my videos are full of content and information. But I'm going to really be honest with you. This is much more thorough in a PowerPoint presentation than just a random video by me. I think the PowerPoint presentation will really explain it with details that you might want to know more about why it is that tribulation would begin on September 17th, and that means being being said that the rapture could be sooner than we think. So the rapture is the catching away of the church. If you don't know what the rapture is, if this is new to you, the catching away of the church means that following the rapture of the church, there'll be 10 days of tribulation after the signing of the covenant of many, according to Daniel 9:27. So that's days after tribulation begins. So we don't know what that looks like in the timeline, but he does explain it a lot better. And I hope that this helps you maybe clean up some bad information or some information that may confuse you. I know I was a little confused by it at first, but it didn't make sense. But then as he went into the power presentation, I clearly can see there's possibilities here. So I'm going to put that link in the description box below so that you can get this. It is lengthy, and give it some time. He does go slow so that you can understand him clearly. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.